Welcome to Florida Credit Union, how to buy a home in today's market. My name is Gwendolyn Prater. I am from a little town just south of Dallas, Texas. I started in the financial industry back in 2003 and I moved to Florida, became a transplant in 2016. My mantra is very much so, today is a good day. I say it a lot. Some of the questions that we're going to answer today are questions that I get quite often. When's a good time to buy a house? Is it even possible to buy a house with the rates as they are? Should I buy? Should I rent? What's the difference between a variable rate and a fixed rate? And most importantly, how do I even get started, right? So today's market is going to be something we discuss along with rent versus mortgage, variable rates, fixed rates. We're even going to touch on a first-time home buyers, explain a little bit of what that is. Let's look at today's market. This is from NerdWallet, and I just want to show you how rates actually do fluctuate, right? If you look at the blue line, which is the 30-year fixed, you're going to see that the rates, they don't change a whole lot. This is a very small snippet, so we're talking about between 5% up to 7%, and they fluctuate inside of it. But over the course of 4 months, we're holding, we were right around 6% back in January. Let's go back in time a little bit. I want you to look at 1980. Rates for a mortgage for a 30-year fixed were almost to 20%. I mean, double digits, and people still bought houses. Even as recently as back in like 2006, rates were right where we're at right now and a little bit higher. So looking at a perspective of a mortgage, rates are never going to be set in stone. They will vary throughout the course of 30 years. Let's look at a personal loan. Let's say you go in and you just want to take a personal loan out. Your interest rate is going to be anywhere from 10% to 11%. I mean, mortgage rates compared to a personal loan are still low. In fact, look at the auto rates. Just for last year alone, they went up. So to see a mortgage rates fluctuate a little bit up as well, it's about the norm. They're not end of the world high, put it that way. It's not quite as bad as it seems when it comes to those rates. A 6, a 7% interest rate, it's not that bad compared to all the other interest rates that are going up around it. Also, just note, most homeowners, they move within 8 years of buying their house. Things change. You move for a job, you have more people in your family, maybe you become empty nesters. There's a bunch of reasons people move on, and the average time to own a home is actually 8 years. So let's look at renting versus buying, right? Big question. Average rent in Gainesville is $1,650 a month. Ocala is only $100 less a month. So if you take your average mortgage in 2022, which was $152,000, if you take your interest rate on a 30-year fixed, we're not just going to take the mortgage payment. Let's throw on mortgage insurance, taxes, homeowners insurance, house maintenance. It is literally cheaper to buy with built-in equity in your home within 2 to 4 years. If you double that for a $300,000 house, it only takes 4 to 6 years. We actually have calculators on the website. If you go to flcu.org, go into the mortgage section, we have a bunch of calculators to help you figure out your specific rent amount and the house you want to buy. We can actually help you plug in those numbers and make sure that it is cost effective to buy. Here's the first step. You got to do the application. We will partner with you and help you figure out what you qualify for, how to get there. Applications are not a requirement to you don't have to complete it. Let's say you start the application, we get you going, we figure out how to get you there. You're not locked into anything, but it is definitely the first step to letting us partner with you to see about getting you your home, right? Once we have the application in, this is what we're going to look at. Fixed rates, variable rates. Are we going to do something like FHA, USDA? We even have construction loans open and ready for you. So let's talk about the variable rate, because that's the hot topic right now. There is a reason variable rates are the preferred loan type right now. There's a reason there's all this talk about them and why they're an option. An ARM is exactly what it sounds like. This is a mortgage with a rate that can adjust over time. We offer at Florida Credit Union a 5/1 ARM. That's a fixed rate for 5 years and then could potentially go up annually thereafter. It is for a 30-year, a 15-year, and even a 10-year mortgage. So the biggest benefit to the ARM is the fact that you save thousands of dollars on your interest rate, because typically the interest rate's lower than a fixed, right? Also, there's no PMI, so that means there's no mortgage insurance on our ARMs. We don't charge it. Your monthly payment amount may change, but we also don't sell the loans. So we're going to be here to partner with you. Within the 5 years, we can talk about refinancing or other options. ARMs are attractive, but they're not necessarily for everyone. We can go over the options, and if that's something that works for you, then we can move forward with that, or we can still do a fixed. Right now, we have a mortgage rate special through the end of March. Our variable rates start at 5.75. That's much lower than fixed right now, much. And this goes for purchasing a home, refinancing, getting cash out, even new constructions. We're starting with that introductory rate, which is a great rate right now. So we need to get you pre-approved. You have to do the application for the pre-approval. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. When you go to make an offer on a house, please note, it is still a buyer's or a seller's market, which means there are not enough houses for the numbers of buyers out there. So you put an offer in a house, 3 or 4 other people might also have an offer in. Your pre-approval letter makes your offer stronger, because that means that a lending institution has given you a letter of some creditworthiness. What is a first-time home buyer program? Well, let's talk about what even is a first-time home buyer, right? Yes, it means you have not owned a home in the past 3 years. So if you had a home 5 years ago, you're still a first-time home buyer if you have not had it for 3 years. Single parents who only owned a house with their former spouse, any house that's not permanently affixed to a foundation, or if the home is not up to building codes. Those are all considered first-time home buyers. Here's some examples of the types of assistance that you can get with first-time home buyers programs. 0% down, 3.5% down. Sometimes there's down payment assistance or even closing cost assistance. And there are some federal grants out there that will help you get in the house. So finding your home sweet home is the second step. First, let's do the application, right? Let's see about getting you qualified. Let's find the loan that you can make the payments on, make sure it makes sense, and then go find your home. You can look at online, there's a bunch of websites, Zillow, Realtor.com. If you need a realtor, we have some that we work with that we can recommend maybe in your area. Find the house of your dreams, make sure it's what you want. Make the offer, settle on a price, and then together we can work towards the closing date. There are a total of 7 of us here in the mortgage department. We are from Gainesville, Lake City, Ocala, DeLand. You can call us, email us. We go to the website, look up our pictures on floridaflcu.org, go into the mortgage section, and you can even see us. So the biggest question I get is, with interest rates how they are, is now a good time to buy a home, right? Interest rates are up, the prices of houses are up. Is it really a good time? And I don't think that's the right question. Interest rates will always change over the course of 30 years. They're going to go up and down. Home values will change over the course of 30 years. It will go up and down. You never walk into a dealership to buy a car just because it's a good time with car prices and interest rates. You don't ever go buy anything in this world under the basis of it's a good deal because of the value and the interest rate. You buy it because you want it. That's the first question. If you find the home of your dreams, you are more than willing to live there, and that's what you love, then that's what you buy, right? You can always refinance. Remember when we said that most people only have a house for 8 years? Well, look at the span of the screen that we showed where the interest rates change over 30 years, go from 18% all the way down to 2%. It's going to change. You can always refinance your mortgage. You can 10 years from now take out cash and put a new roof on. There will be interest rate changes on your mortgage for the majority of us over the course of 30 years. And the value of your house, in part, will be growing crazy because of the repairs that you do, the upgrades you do. So the value of your home will definitely go up and down. You buy a home because you love it, not because the interest rate is what you want it to be, right? So we have a couple questions that I'm going to go over. Let me just click in there if I can get it to click in. Oh. Brittany typed in and said, hey, I can't hear any questions. Hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, so I have one question.
Yeah, we could hear you. Can you find the question?
There are none in here.
Yeah, there's plenty. Gregory. Just.
So can you refinance the ARM? Are there penalties? Do you have to wait 5 years to refinance the ARM? No, you don't have to wait to refinance. There's no prepayment penalties. There's no, I have to wait full 5, 6, 7. No, you can refinance as you want to. Get in the house, the rates drop 7, 8 months from now, refinance the house. There's no penalty. And we don't sell the loans. So you can actually call back up here and speak to us and we can help you refinance it if you need to. How fast can I get pre-approved? That's a great question. How fast can you do the application? No, I'm just playing. So I would recommend doing the application. We're going to call you afterwards. Applying for a home isn't like anything else you apply for. We're going to help you fill out that application, right? Once it's filled out, we get it to underwriting. I'd say on average it's 24 to 48 right now for when we would get an approval. That's the goal, to get it the same day, but sometimes 24 to 48 hours. We look at every loan because we approve people, right? We don't just use the computerized system to say, hey, pop it out, approved, no, denied. They don't hit bells and whistles. No, we approve you. So we're going to go through every application individually and look at them all. So here's another one. We currently don't sell any of the variable rate loans we have. No, that is not something we do. You get put in an ARM, we're not going to feed you to the wolves and just let it go. Okay, well, you'll be with us. Should I wait to buy a house until prices come back down? You buy a house because you love it, right? You don't buy a house because the price isn't what you think it is. That's a reason maybe not to buy one for one specific house. But when you find a house you love, you want to live there, buy it. Within 2 to 4 years, you're going to be saving money over renting. So it's definitely the right time to buy if you love the house. Any other questions? Is there a minimum credit score for approvals? So, on a VA loan, is there a minimum credit score? So VA, you can actually have a 580, but credit score should not approve you or deny you with Florida Credit Union. VA might have a minimum, but here at Florida Credit Union, bad things happen to good people. Your credit score should not approve or deny you. The application and what's in it is what we look at as a whole. So sometimes you can be below a 580 and get approved with Florida Credit Union, but VA, their limit is 580. Any other questions before we go on? Okay, well, I want to, so just an FYI, we're going to email the presentation to everybody's email, just so you have a copy of it, so you can look at it later if you need to. Also, see the QR code right here? If you want to take a picture of it, scan it. You're more than welcome to do the application at any time. If you have questions doing it, feel free to give us a call. We can help walk you through it, okay? Y'all have a great day.